Let me tell you what happened in a meeting I sat in last month. A VP of operations at a major automotive manufacturer, someone who's been in the industry for 22 years, asked his team a question. He said, how many of these roles could we eliminate if we fully deployed the AI tools we already have access to? The answer came back 3 days later. 73%. 73% of his department's current headcount could be replaced by AI tools that his company is already paying for. He didn't share that number with his team, but I was in the room when he got it. And I've been in dozens of rooms like that over the last 18 months. I'm Anant. I've spent 25 years inside enterprise technology with several of the large industrial AI companies in the world. What you're about to hear is not speculation. It's not clickbait. It's what's actually being discussed at the executive level inside Fortune 500 companies right now. And most people have absolutely no idea it's coming. Today, I'm going to walk you through 3 specific $100,000 plus jobs that are being hollowed out by AI right now. Not in 5 years, not eventually. Right now in Q3 and Q4 of this year, I'm going to tell you exactly what's replacing them, what those new roles pay, and what you need to do in the next 90 days to make sure you're on the right side of this shift. Because here's the thing, and this is what the headlines always get wrong. This is not a story about job losses. It's a story about wealth concentration. The money doesn't disappear. The budget doesn't get cut. It gets redirected to a much smaller group of people who understood what was coming before everyone else did. This video is about making sure you're in that group. Before I get into the specifics, let me give you 60 seconds of context on who I am and why I'm the right person to talk about this. I started my career with one of the largest industrial technology companies in the world. I spent a decade there working on enterprise software implementation, digital transformation, and AI strategy. For the last several years, I've been working along with large product companies who have implemented their softwares in hundreds of Fortune 500 organizations. I work directly with industries like energy, automotive, and aerospace companies on their AI strategy, which means I'm in the room when these conversations happen. I'm not an influencer who read about this on LinkedIn. I'm not a consultant selling a course. I'm the guy who's been inside these organizations watching this unfold in real time. I know what it feels like to be the person on the outside of these decisions, trying to figure out what AI means for your livelihood. That dual perspective is exactly why I started this channel. What gets discussed in Fortune 500 strategy rooms almost never reaches the people who actually need to act on it. That changes right now. Let's get into it. 3 jobs, all paying between $90,000 and $120,000 per year, all being systematically replaced by AI right now. The first role is the data analyst. For the last 20 years, companies have hired teams of analysts to do one core job: take raw data, make sense of it, and tell leadership what it means. Collect the data, clean it, run queries, build dashboards, write reports, present to stakeholders, repeat. It was skilled work, it paid well, and it required real human judgment, or at least that's what everyone believed. Here's what's changed. AI tools, specifically large language models connected to internal databases, now do all of that in real time, automatically, overnight, without being asked. I'll give you a specific example. One of the manufacturing companies I work with had a 6-person analytics team. Their job was to produce weekly operational reports, equipment efficiency, production output, quality metrics that went to the executive team every Monday morning. They implemented an AI analytics layer in Q1 of this year. By Q2, those same reports were being generated automatically at 11:59 p.m. every Sunday. More accurate, more granular, and they could be queried in natural language. A VP could just type, "Why did line 3 underperform last Tuesday?" and get an answer instantly. The 6-person team was reduced to 1 person whose entire job is now to configure, govern, and improve the AI system. That person's new title, AI Analytics Strategist. Their new salary, $145,000 a year, up from $92,000 in their previous role. The 5 people who didn't adapt, they were out. Not because they were bad at their jobs, because they never learned to manage the system that replaced them. The second role hits close to home for me given where I work. Product lifecycle management engineers, PLM engineers, are the people who manage how a physical product moves from an idea to a manufactured reality. They work in software platforms like the one my company makes, managing CAD models, engineering change orders, compliance documentation, bill of materials, revision control, complex, detail-heavy work that traditionally required deep expertise. And for decades, it was genuinely hard to automate because the work required contextual judgment, knowing which change affects which downstream process, understanding regulatory requirements, coordinating between design, manufacturing, and procurement teams. That contextual judgment is now being built into AI agents. I've personally seen demonstrations and early deployments where AI agents can review an engineering change order, identify every downstream system it affects, flag compliance risks, and draft the required documentation in under 4 minutes. Work that used to take a senior PLM engineer an entire day. The companies implementing this aren't laying off their entire PLM teams overnight. What they're doing is slower and harder to see. They're stopping new hires. Existing team members retire or leave and their positions don't get backfilled. A PLM team of 12 becomes a team of 7, then 4, then 2 who manages the AI system that's doing what 12 people used to do. The 2 who remain are not doing PLM work. They're doing AI governance. And they're earning $180,000 to $220,000 a year doing it. This is happening right now inside companies you've heard of. Not as a pilot, as a standard operating model. The third role is the one that surprises people most: procurement. Procurement managers have always been considered relatively safe from automation because the work is fundamentally relational. You're negotiating with vendors. You're managing supplier relationships built on years of trust. You're making judgment calls about risk, human stuff, relationship stuff. Exactly the kind of work everyone said AI would never touch. Except here's what happened. AI got very good at 3 specific things that procurement work depends on. First, contract analysis. AI can now review a 200-page vendor contract in 90 seconds and identify every clause that deviates from standard terms, every risk, and every opportunity to renegotiate work that used to take a team of procurement managers 3 days. Second, vendor scoring. AI can now pull real-time data on every supplier, financial health, delivery, performance, quality metrics, geopolitical risk, ESG compliance, and produce a ranked vendor recommendation before a human has even opened their email. Third, and this is the one nobody talks about, negotiation simulation. AI systems can now run thousands of negotiation scenarios, identify the optimal opening position, and recommend exactly when to push and when to concede based on historical data from thousands of similar negotiations. I've seen enterprise procurement implementations where AI reduced the average procurement cycle from 47 days to 8 days. With 2 people managing a process that used to require a team of 12, the people who kept their jobs, the ones who could configure the AI systems, interpret their outputs, and handle the edge cases the AI wasn't trained for, their title now AI Procurement Strategist. Compensation $140,000 to $160,000 per year. Now I want to stop and make sure you actually absorb what I just told you, because most people hear AI is replacing jobs and they think about the people losing work. That's not the story I'm telling you. Let me give you the numbers from the 3 examples I just shared. The analytics team, 6 people at an average of $92,000 a year. Total payroll, $552,000. New model, one AI strategist at $145,000 plus the AI tool subscription at around $80,000 a year. Total $225,000. The company saves $327,000 a year. Where do you think that $327,000 goes? Some of it goes to the bottom line, but a significant portion gets redeployed into more AI tools, into the people who manage those tools, and into the people who can identify the next process to automate. This is what I mean when I say this is a wealth concentration story. The budget doesn't shrink. The number of people sharing it shrinks, which means the people who remain get a dramatically larger piece. In every organization I work with, I've watched the same pattern play out. The people who understood what was coming, who started building AI skills 12 to 18 months before everyone else, are now sitting in roles that didn't exist 2 years ago, earning 40 to 60% more than they were making before. The people who waited, who said my job is safe or AI will never replace what I do, are either scrambling right now or already out. And here's the uncomfortable reality I want you to sit with for a second. The gap between those two groups, the people who got it early and the people who didn't, is not a skills gap. It's an information gap. Okay, so what do you actually do with this information? I'm going to give you a specific 90-day action plan. 4 steps: concrete, no vague, learn AI advice. The single biggest mistake I see people make is trying to become an AI generalist. They take a ChatGPT course. They learn about Midjourney. They dabble in 5 different tools and become fluent in none of them. That is not what companies pay premium for. What companies pay premium for is someone who is the AI expert for a specific domain. Finance AI, healthcare AI, manufacturing AI, legal AI, supply chain AI. The narrower your lane, the higher your premium. A general AI consultant might charge $100 an hour. An AI integration specialist for automotive supply chain can charge $400 an hour and has a waiting list. So your first step before you learn a single new tool is to identify the industry you already know and commit to becoming the AI expert specifically within that industry. You don't have to start from scratch. You just have to add AI fluency on top of domain knowledge you already have. That combination is extraordinarily rare right now and extraordinarily well paid. There's a fundamental difference between using AI and managing AI. And it's the difference between a $50,000 job and a $150,000 job. Using AI means prompting ChatGPT to write your emails. Everybody does that now. It's table stakes. It will not get you paid. Managing AI means building workflows where AI handles entire processes autonomously, configuring systems that chain multiple AI tools together, setting up the rules the AI follows, auditing its outputs, improving its accuracy over time, identifying where it fails and why. The tools that teach you this skill are not expensive or hard to access. Platforms like Make.com, Zapier, and N8N let you build multi-step AI workflows for free or close to free. Spend 30 minutes a day for 30 days building one automation in your specific industry. Document what you built, what problem it solved, and what the result was. That portfolio of 30 automations, even simple ones, is worth more to a company hiring right now than a master's degree in data science. Because it proves you can actually do the work, not just talk about it. This is the step 90% of people skip. And it's the one that separates the people earning $80,000 from the ones earning $180,000 for the same underlying skill set. Visibility is not optional. In the AI economy, if you are not visible, you do not exist. The people getting the best consulting contracts, the best job offers, the best advisory roles, they're not necessarily the most skilled, they're the most visible. Building in public means documenting your learning journey on LinkedIn, on YouTube, on Twitter, sharing what you built, what you learned, what failed, what worked. You don't need to be an expert to start. You need to be 6 months ahead of most people, which after watching this video and taking action this week, you already are. One post a week on LinkedIn about what you're learning and building. That's it. In 6 months, you will have more inbound opportunities than you can handle. The highest paid position in the AI economy right now is what I call the bridge. The bridge is the person who can take enterprise level AI knowledge and translate it into practical business application for companies that don't have anyone internally who can do that. Small and mid-sized businesses have the same pressure to adopt AI as large enterprises. They just don't have the budget to hire a full-time AI strategy team, which means they need fractional help, consultants, advisors, specialists who come in, solve a specific problem, and leave. If you've done steps 1 through 3, you picked a domain, built some real automations, and made your knowledge visible, you can start charging for that expertise right now, not someday. Now, I'm talking about this week. A fractional AI consultant helping a manufacturing company automate their procurement process can charge $5,000 to $15,000 per project. 2 or 3 of those a month, and you've replaced a 6-figure salary working 20 hours a week. Let me get specific. These are the exact skills that companies are actively recruiting for in my network right now and what they're paying. Skill 1, AI workflow design. Building multi-step automated processes using tools like make.com and 8n or custom API integrations. Entry level, $85,000 to $110,000. $140,000 to $180,000. Skill 2, prompt engineering for enterprise applications. Not basic ChatGPT prompting, systematic prompt design for specific business use cases with testing, iteration, and documentation. $90,000 to $130,000. Skill 3, AI governance and compliance. As companies deploy AI at scale, someone needs to audit it, ensure it's making defensible decisions, and keep it compliant with emerging regulations. This is the least sexy skill on this list. It's also the most recession-proof and the highest paid, $130,000 to $220,000. Skill 4, AI change management. Helping organizations actually adopt AI, training employees, redesigning workflows, managing the human resistance that every AI implementation encounters. $100,000 to $150,000. Skill 5, domain-specific AI implementation. Taking general AI tools and deploying them for specific industry applications, manufacturing, quality control, financial risk assessment, healthcare documentation, legal contract review. Premium varies widely by industry. Range $120,000 to $300,000 at the senior end. Notice that none of these skills require a computer science degree. None of them require you to write code from scratch. All of them require domain knowledge plus AI fluency, a combination that's available to anyone with the right information and the willingness to invest 30 minutes a day. I want to take 90 seconds to tell you something personal, because I think it's important that you understand why I'm making this channel. For 25 years, I've sat in rooms where decisions were being made that would affect hundreds of thousands of people, and I've watched the information from those rooms almost never reach the people who needed it most. I've watched colleagues, brilliant, hardworking people, get blindsided by technology shifts they never saw coming. Not because they weren't smart enough, because they weren't in the room. I've also watched a smaller group of people who were in the room or who knew someone who was positioned themselves correctly months and years before the shift happened and build real lasting wealth as a result. The difference between those two groups was not talent, it was access to information. I also own a small business. I know what it feels like to be on the outside of this, to read headlines about AI disruption and not know what it actually means for you, whether your industry is next, whether the skills you've spent years building still matter. This channel is my attempt to solve that problem, to take what I see happening in Fortune 500 strategy rooms and translate it clearly, honestly, and without the hype into something you can actually act on. Not theory, not speculation, real intelligence from inside the companies shaping what happens next. Here's what I want you to do right now. 3 things. First, subscribe. Not because it helps my numbers, because the next 4 videos I'm releasing are going to cover exactly what skills companies are actively hiring for by industry. How to build a visible AI profile in 30 days, even if you're starting from zero, what the Fortune 500 AI budget cycle looks like, and how to position yourself for it, and how to price your AI expertise as a consultant or freelancer. Miss any of those and you're behind. Second, drop in the comments which of the 3 jobs we covered surprised you most: Data Analyst, PLM Engineer, or Procurement Manager. I read every comment and I'll answer your specific questions directly. Third, share this with someone who needs to hear it. Someone in one of these roles, someone who's been saying AI won't affect my job. Do them a favor and send them this video. I'm Anand, this is the Tech Wealth Zone, and I'll see you in the next one.